So today, by the way, this is some code. I just decided to do something new today by teaching something on programming. So I've not done this, and this is going to be an unedited video. So we see our mistake, we see our perfection and all that. So what are we going to learn today on software engineering or coding? Um, for today, I'm not going to be targeting beginners. So sorry if you are not already a coder. But even if you are not a coder, this thing you are seeing here is where they write code. It's called VS Code. So people that are already developers, they already know. So let's think of something to do today. Okay, let me go to Draw to think of something, to brainstorm something. Let's say, let's pick a language first. I think we should pick JavaScript. Okay, Node.js programming. So, like I said, it's going to be an unedited video. We brainstorm something to code about. So let's say we want to, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? Okay, let's learn about processes in Node.js. So what is a process? So a process is an instance of a computer program. Okay, let me make you understand it. Let's say, for example, you have Microsoft Word. If you open it in 4 different windows, so that is 4 processes. So, but today, we are going to be using the process to do something. So what can we use it to do? Let's say we want to, okay, we have a large text file, maybe data.txt that contains a lot of text, and we want to search for something inside. Yeah, so that is what we want to do, and we want to use a process in Node.js to be able to achieve that. Okay, so what is our problem scope again? So our problem scope is, let's search for a text in a large text file. Okay, so to achieve this, so before you start coding, you must first of all have a picture of it in your head. So achieve it. So how do we want to achieve that? Okay, we use some kind of Linux command. Let's go the other way around. We use some kind of Linux command. What is a Linux command? Well, Linux command is, although this video is not targeted for beginners, but it's just like a kind of instruction you issue to a computer to do something on a Unix system. Okay, so to achieve our coding goals, we need to, this video is going to be a bit long because we are not going to edit it. So we see all our errors and we see our mistakes and perfection. So we use a Linux command, and we use the process module in Node.js. Okay, Node.js has something called child process. So we use it. We use that. Then we also need a test file, data.txt. So we also need a test file. So we start wasting time. Let's go to our code editor. So let's create a folder so that It's quite interesting. So what are we going to call it? Search app. Search app. So let's create a file, a JavaScript file, where we are going to be writing our code. So let's say, let's call it search.js. So let's just say search for a text in a large text file. Okay, so we need a text file, and we also, like as we pointed out here, we need this file, a large text file, and we need some kind of Linux command and a child process. So let's go. So first of all, let's create a self-invoking function in Node.js. I don't think we need an asynchronous process. So this is a self-invoking function. So this is like a boilerplate, just to be sure, have an idea that our application can run. So let's open up the terminal, and I think we should push the terminal to the right. So we write our code here in this place, then we execute it here. So let's say node, we want to execute it, node let's say search app slash search. So what I'm doing is I'm referring to this file search app slash test. So if I click enter, so as you can see, so this is what I wrote here. So if I say start, I'm good. I don't think there's anything like that. Okay, so we are good. So we can easily call our function. So but we still need the test file. So where are we going to put the test file? Okay, let's still put it here. Let's say data dot txt. Okay, so now I'm not going to waste time using program to generate anything. Let's just write some dummy text inside it. So this is a dummy text, and it can be generated with a program. We just want to save time. My phone is +123 blah blah. We are going to search this. So let's copy it and just be randomly pasting rubbish. So let me repeat something. My phone is also, to make it more random, +34. Okay, so the whole idea is to be able to search for this, to search for anything in this file, and maybe to do some processing with it. So let's go back to our code. So like we discussed here, we need some kind of Linux command. So which command can allow us to search for something? First of all, to achieve this, we first of all need to be able to get access to the file, get access to this test file, and also able to search for anything inside. Okay, let's go. So we are not going to look at anything, and we are not going to make any reference, and we are not going to edit anything. So let's see how far we can go. So first of all, am I blank? Okay, let's go. Let's say ls. Okay, so the meaning of ls is to list out the current folders and files in a particular directory. So these are Linux commands. pwd print working directory. I see. Okay, I think we are good to go. Okay, so first of all, let's get access to this particular file. So in Node.js, there is a module called parts. There's a module called parts. So let's just require it. Let's say we have 5 parts. So we are trying to get access to the let's say parts dot join. So the current directory, so the current place that this file is inside the search app. So we need to get out of it first. Is it really necessary? Well, let's might not need to get out, but let's get out of it and start getting out of it. Someone will say, why can't I just go straight? Or let's just do something different. So let's get out of it and say search app, and let's see data.txt. So in programming, most time you need to be seeing what you are doing. So let's say console.log. Also, let's check some performance tips to be sure that we are not writing rubbish code like most developers do. How do we do this now? How do we do this? Console.time. Let's say search. So I want to do time space complexity of a program. Okay. Console.time, and I guess if I'm right, like I said, we are not going to open up anything. So we do all these things from scratch. We see our mistakes. Please be patient. It's going to be a long video, but it's going to be interesting. So I'm trying to run the code again. So it took 7.919 milliseconds to run. So let's say we have a teach Node.js search and data. I think is correct. So I don't want to go into some kind of FX module where you need to check if the path exists or not. So we just throw an exception. So, but let's go. So now we have access to the file. So we have access to, okay, now say we have, let's get access to file. This is a comment in programming. So, and we said we are going to be using a process. So what kind of, in Node.js has 3 processes. It has they have the spawn process, they have the fork process, and they have the exec process. So these are the 3 processes in Node.js. We are going to be creating a child process in Node.js. So I think our interest is on the exec process. I think the exec process allows us to run Linux command on a child process. So spawn process, fork process is not really part of this video. Maybe if I have time, I'll teach you more on this. I love Node.js, quite interesting. So let's go back to our application and let's require the child process. So let's say, what are we going to call it? So since we are interested in the exec, child, okay, thank God, I nearly forgot. Okay, so now we have access to the function, the child process. So let's say exec. So this first, let's use backtick. So this first command here is normally something like this. Run a function inside it. So this first parameter is whatever you want to run inside. Let's say I did earlier lx, Abby, and you also saw me typing ls here, and you saw me typing current working directory lx. Okay, so you can also run the same command from your code. Let's start with lx, and okay, so the first parameter here is, I think, is if you have an error. I think so, yeah. If you have an error and standard output. Funnily, in programming, these things can be rubbish actually, with different names, just for you to understand what they mean actually. So we use descriptive name. So errors, std out, and std error. This thing, I guess this thing hardly occurs. So it's saying that if your computer has, the display has error. Okay, so so we want to see if we have error. We don't want to proceed further. So we want to say console.log. So we need to have an idea of the error. So let's say error. So let's return it so that it doesn't go further. So let's also do for this particular one. So if the standard error display is 40, so we should show it here. Let's see the error, and so we should know what's going on. So if everything goes fine, guys, if there is no errors, we might want to still check if there is no error. So you want to first of all see what you are doing. So let's say console dot. So you might, instead of using the log, you might just say error, console dot error. So you might just want to see what is going on. Okay, let's just say output. Okay. Output and std out. Sorry, it's going to be a long video, but it's there. We are getting there. So let's run this command. We run this command. Wow. So we have search app. It's actually showing this folder. That is what it means. So if I still type print working directory, that means where am I running this thing from? You see now, this thing is coming from my program. So this output you are seeing here is this one, and this variable here is this guy here. Okay, so we are good to go. So let's clear up. Let's go. So which command will allow us to do this now? So there is a cat command that allows you to print out the content of the test file. So let's say cat rubbish, like something that does not exist at txt. So we expect one of those errors to trigger. So error, command fail, it said no such file or directory found. That means there's nothing like that. So this place. So it did not get to here. The program has terminated. So we are sure we have something like this. So let's include the 5 parts instead of something that does not exist. So we cut it. Wow. So this is everything we wrote down earlier that is found on this test file. Right, it's everything here. Okay. Wow, looking good, looking good. So let's clear our screen. So now we have cutted it by displaying. Let's run it again. So now we want to process this test. We want to process the test. So let's say we want to just say we just want to, let's look for this text. We just want to. So I'm going to send the whole of this output, that is this test here, to another Linux command. So you use a pipe operator. So you pipe it. That means the way you pipe water to another place. So you pipe it and to grep as in to grab something. So what do you want to grab? So let's say you want to grab on code, and code is not there. Who knows? But let's see. So let's clear. So wow, we have an error. Command fail, grep and code. Okay. Couldn't see and code. Let's rerun it again. The other error was because there was space here, I guess. So I was supposed to put space there. So okay, error, not really social. Not about it. Let's say it's a command failed. Okay, let's say we we have we in that test. Wow, it's working. So it's not about the speaks. Yeah, it shouldn't be about the speaks. Okay, so we we just, so if you look at this text here, we have how many we just want to see. If I say 67, I'm come here and run this code again, blah blah blah, 76, blah blah, I wrote there. So remember the place I wrote my phone. So let's close this place first. So let's search for my phone. So this is case sensitive, so it might not work. So it didn't work because there's an error. You understand? So there's an error. So but later I'll teach you how to, instead of running this error command, how you can just tell the user that your tests, what you are looking for is not there. So let's say I have my phone. Wow, my phone is okay. My phone is blah blah blah. So everything here, it has picked it. Okay. So let's say you want to count it, the number of times it occurs, or counts. So it happened 4 times. If you see this, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is that, and I think we have achieved our purpose. We are able to search for anything. So in a multiple scenario, you might use the count to, like, so if it is okay, let's search for something that does not exist, like encode. I searched earlier, encode. So let's get, like, now after you have gotten a code, you pipe it again to another stream. So um L. So this is actually 0. So generically in programming, you can just write a function where this, if it's 0, you tell them your text is not found. So I think that ends our video for today. If you like it, you can still subscribe so that I can see if I'm going to be doing YouTube videos. Thank you.